Today we're going to be looking at the 4-3-1 nine-a-side formation. This formation can be seen as quite defensive, but used in the correct way can be a very good attacking option, creating lots of overloads in possession and being solid defensively when you've not got the ball. The wing-backs have a very important role in this formation. They'll have to attack and defend at a moment's notice, so they'll need lots of energy when playing in this system. If you lose the ball on the attack, your wing-backs will have to work hard to get back into their defensive shape. Otherwise, you'll become easily outnumbered. On the other hand, when you're in possession, the wing-backs will be creating huge overloads in the opponent's half. Now, I'm going to give you some tips on each player's roles and responsibilities within this system. And you might want to do things differently. That's fine. It's important that you find a system that suits you and your players. This is just how I would personally set up when using this system and what information I'd be telling my players on a match day. First, we're going to take a look at the job of our wing backs, numbers 2 and 3. As I've already mentioned, these players will need to have bags of energy to get up and down the pitch. Out of possession, these players will tuck in beside the centre backs, acting as defenders. In a typical system, this would be seen as a right back and left back. In their role, their job is to stop the opposing wingers from advancing up the pitch and stop crosses into their box. They must make sure they're working in line with the centre backs and always a good distance away from their closest centre back, providing cover when it's needed. In possession, these players will vacate their defensive roles and advance higher up the pitch, becoming our left and right wingers. Now their jobs change. They must support the attack, combine with the midfielders and attackers, and provide the team with lots of width on the pitch to create space. They should look to get balls into the box wherever possible, and also be confident in beating players 1v1 in the wide areas. Your typical winger role. Relating back to the adult game, this would be the role of Trent Alexander-Arnold. We're looking to create overloads in the opponent's half, meaning we've got more players than they have in a particular part of the pitch, making it easier for us to score goals. If the ball is lost in transition, it's extremely important that these players can recover and get back into their defensive shape. Otherwise, the opposition will outnumber us easily and create goal scoring opportunities, which is exactly what we don't want. Secondly, we're going to look into the centre backs roles, number 5 and 6. These players should be the anchors for our defence, protecting the goalkeeper wherever they can. Out of possession, these players will move across the pitch as a unit, together and in sync. If one of them goes to defend out wide, covering a wing back who's making a recovery run, the other must move across the pitch too, so we don't have huge gaps in our defence. In possession, these players need to support the goalkeeper by creating angles to receive the ball. They should look to give the keeper an option to play out from the back wherever possible, by splitting wide and creating space. When they're on the ball, these two players should have multiple options to play forward. We want them to try and make a penetrative pass forwards wherever possible. I'd ask them to always look for the advancing wing backs as a first option. If by any reason there isn't a forward pass available, then they should look to retain possession of the ball by using the goalkeeper or their partner until they can see an opening to play that forward pass. Now we'll look at our holding midfielder, number 4. This player should play just in front of our 2 centre backs and slightly behind the other midfielders. Their job is to screen this area and protect our defence. Out of possession, this player will provide support and cover to the defenders. If the centre backs are covering for a wing back by defending in the wide areas, this player should drop into the gaps left behind by our centre-back pair. The holding midfielder should try to prevent forward balls played through by the opposition and break down attacks. In possession, this player will be also looking to make forward passes and break lines wherever possible. They should support the attack, combining with the midfield pair and the wing backs, looking to get the ball into our striker wherever possible. This player will also have to have a high work rate because they'll be required to cover a lot of ground, both laterally and going forwards. Next, we're going to look at our midfielders, numbers 8 and 10. These two players will work as a unit, in a pair. They'll move across the pitch together, just as the centre-backs do. Ideally, we want these two players occupying that central area and not going out wide, because the wide areas should be exploited by the wing-backs. Out of possession, these two players are looking to break up attacks from the opposition and try and win the ball back as high up the pitch as they can. They should support the holding midfielder and defenders when we don't have the ball. If the holding midfielder needs to cover in defence, then one of these two players should drop into the holding midfielder's role. In possession, our midfielders should be looking to support the attack. Both should be aiming to go forwards and combine with the number 9 and the wing backs. This will create our overload in the attacking third and bring more goal scoring opportunities. It's important that if we lose the ball, these two players can make the required recovery runs to get back into the team shape as quickly as possible. Finally, we'll look at our striker, our number 9. The striker's got a lonely role in this formation, so we need them to be able to hold the ball up well, to wait for support from their teammates. Out of possession, we want our number 9 to stay as high up the pitch as possible, because they're going to be our out ball when we win the ball back. They should always be looking to be in a position to receive the ball. In possession, we want this player to hold the ball up well. If the ball is played into them, they should look to combine with the midfielders or wing backs to create opportunities in front of goal.